Might be live.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're live. 4:00 p.m. Canoga Park, California, here in 2LaneLIVE Studios. This episode is brought to you by Eagle Rider Motorcycle Rentals and Tours. Don't forget to check out 2LaneLIVE.com and get all the info there on how you can rent a motorcycle, see the country, have a good time. What's happening, boys? Who do we got in the house today?
We got a long-time buddy, 40 years. I've known this guy. We were river rafters. We actually became river guides together, and that's how we met on the Kern River in California, and the rest is history.
Well,
so
it's kind of sad.
Well, I've known Jeff 40 years. I've known Galen 30 years. So you got 70 years of
friendship,
right.
So it's like, the last couple of drops that we've been filming, the oil change, and then the one that we just did with Josh's fairing, I'm kind of behind the camera now. And
Yes.
So what did you bring this hustler into? Is this the new 2LaneLIVE?
We're testing him
10
out.
more years
Yeah, no.
him than me?
No.
We're testing him out to see if he can. We got to train him to ride a Harley first.
Yeah, I've never been on a Harley. I've done some dirt bikes, here and there, but a 62-year-old man doesn't just go down and buy a Harley. You can go buy a gun, and never have owned one, but I don't think you can do that with a Harley and live.
Guys kind of do it.
I don't know.
So tell us a little bit about the Harley your friend touched.
Oh, yeah. So I've never touched a Harley, but, we all grew up in the day where, Harley was kind of the badass biker dudes, and we were at the Montana State Fair. I would say this is probably 1978. And there were some bikes and some hairy biker guys. And this one bike was sitting there running. And my friend was 19. I was 17. We walked up to the bike and he grabbed over on the throttle and gave it a little rev up, just to see how, and he was admiring it sweetly,
Right.
And this big hairy man came over and said, "Hey, you know what I did to the last guy that touched my bike?" And we're like, "No." And this guy hauled off with his big hairy ass biker boots and kicked my friend in the balls square, lifted him off the ground. Now, we lived at the time about 70 miles from where that fair was. So we got to the car. He laid the seat down and said, "Drive." We had to drive home. And during that time, he swelled up the size of grapefruit, man. And I didn't see him for days, honestly. He went to the doctor, got checked out because we thought they were crushed. It was such a bad injury. He was black and blue starting at his neck all the way down to his calves. It just ruptured him. So I learned then, don't touch Harleys.
Or somebody else's
Have you heard
Harley.
that story before?
I have heard that story before.
Yeah,
yes.
it's an
Well, we
old
heard it on the way to lunch today, and we were all laughing in the Jeep.
It was serious.
But that's kind of the guys take their bikes very seriously.
I get that. Yeah.
And you said when you walked in earlier today that you want to get out and twist the throttle at some point.
But see, I don't want to, I don't have a burning desire to be a Harley, guy. I just thought, there's a lot of women that are enthusiasts. I'd like to ride one sometime. Yeah. I keep saying drive. I'd like to drive one, but there's no fucking steering wheel. No, but I mean,
you can still drive.
Yeah, but they're
bike.
like 800 pounds or something.
Yes.
Right.
I'm not a very big guy. I guess there's a lot to learn.
Hey,
I just would like
ride them, and they're your size.
I would like to just drive one. Get on one and go through the gears and just go around the block one time, survive a Harley.
Well, we're going to do a trip to Philadelphia in one of our vlog series, documentary this year. And Jeff's from Philadelphia. He lives in Pottstown, PA.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to go there. He's going to be a tour guide. We're going to Gettysburg, the Liberty Bell. We were hoping to see the Fletcher Street Cowboys.
Yeah, they haven't responded. But so if we went the first week of October,
it's great.
Is that decent? Or are we going to have snow maybe?
No. Actually, that's getting you right into where
fall colors.
Yeah. I mean, it can be. It's usually, I always say third week in October.
Mm-hmm.
But, it isn't far. If you wanted to see fall colors, if that was an objective, you could just drive north up into New York. And, as you drive north, it progresses. But you never know.
I mean, we went from Milwaukee to Maine.
We were in
Yeah.
Maine in the last week of September.
Yes. So we were
So
early.
we were just a little bit early, but I was going to ask you that, and I forgot to do that today. But so you think like the first week of October is decent?
It's decent. It's probably not fall colors then.
But
You know,
it's definitely not.
it's nice
snow.
time of year. No, definitely.
So what I was saying is we're going to go to Philadelphia. We're going to be there. So we are going to teach him how to ride Josh's Road King.
Nice.
We figure that'd be the safest.
That'd be a good thing. Get in a big parking lot,
Right.
you know,
Just pop the clutch and
just do a wheelie just right away and drag my hand on the ground.
Stunt guy.
I know. Look, I've watched Lance's son grow up. Since the day he was born, and watched him through. Remember the little tiny motocross, the first very tiny little bikes, to what that guy does, and then the wheeling of the Harleys. Like I wasn't surprised, but when I'm like, "What's Lance doing these days?" Oh, he's like with these guys like wheeling Harleys, and then I looked.
well, I'll never forget the one time in our living room. You know the little toy motorcycles.
Yeah.
Lance was so into motorcycles that Jeff sat it up. He put it on the ground and held the throttle side and said, "Sit on this to ride." And he sat
Take it
on
for a
it.
ride.
He sat on it.
And he was like one, and he went over and tried to sit on the toy motorcycle.
So
Oh yeah,
I don't
Good
know
times.
if you guys saw the drop yesterday. It is so awesome from LA to Ely, Nevada. Next Wednesday is going to be epic frozen tundra. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and check that sucker out.
Sounds like we got a bike outside.
We might have a bike.
We might have
Is that
it.
a
We can hear them from our
midnight
studio
rambler?
pulling up. Yeah.
just coming in late, really, just to get like a new windshield or something, or
Yeah.
Well, you've
Some-
kind of seen all day today.
Yeah, there was-
guys showing up.
Well,
everybody interested in everything that you have.
right. It's pretty cool. So Galen grew up on a river. Jeff and I were river guides. So we all have this river commonality, whitewater fun. What a great thing. I mean, we learned a lot.
Yeah, but I think you're right in that situation. However, we were just talking earlier.
Yes.
You two had naked girls all over the place. Now, when we ran the rivers,
Yeah,
we were with the Mormons mostly,
nice.
and so there were no nudity.
No, there was no.
But
I'm sure
there was nudity all around us.
in Southern California,
Yeah,
in the 70s, 80s, the people would go to the river and just there'd be whole camps of nude people.
Well,
but you guys wouldn't do that, right?
Oh yeah. My
we
nickname.
join in.
I hate to say this. I hate to say this live on the air.
No, you
my
should.
nickname was No Pants Lance.
Yeah, you could guarantee that if you were at a rapid watching some boats come through, one would come around the corner and Lance would be in the middle of the boat with his pants down, there'd just be a moon and the people wouldn't even know it. They'd still be rowing. Their guide would have his pants down. It was pretty funny.
Well,
I was
so
young and having fun.
it's kind of nice being outside, right?
Yeah.
And you drop your drawers and
Yeah, feel
and
nature.
It's called muy viento. Is that the wind?
Muy viento, yeah.
So the wind just rushes through, and
It is. It's good
Those are
to
good.
people don't really realize how pleasant it is to air out your area, with natural air.
right.
You can blow dry it in the bathroom. It's not the same as standing perched on a butte.
Right.
Or a beach.
Yes.
But being young dudes in the Kern River and the Southern California sun, you're up in the Sierra Nevada,
Yeah.
and you're taking 25 new people every third day on a river trip, camping overnight. You learned a lot about people. You learned a lot about responsibility. You learned a lot about going for it in life.
Yeah. And learn
So
a
what
lot
does that have
about
to do with
divorced
being
ladies.
Well, you
Just
learn
gotta
how
go
to
for it.
want to be nude.
Oh,
We were 20 years old in our 20s, and we'd get these groups with like a whole group of divorced women in their 40s. They liked us.
so that's the difference then.
Yeah.
I was like 10.
We learned a lot.
But the
Yeah, you
Army-
were still
so
10.
I was still just
Yeah.
looking, going,
I wish
wow,
we would have
I
known
didn't
your
know
family.
that.
We could have taught. We could have big brothered you.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is the trips that were the craziest and the wildest trips
Yeah.
were firefighters and police officers.
Yeah. But yes.
They would get on the river and they'd be like, I'm free. It's party time.
Yeah, they'd have flasks, the old leather flasks, and
Heck yeah,
that'd
the
be
Buddha
full.
bag,
Yeah, Buddha bags, full
Buddha
of
bag, Buddha bag.
Buddha bags full of vodka and whiskey.
Well, and we used to do that. Well, I had friends that did that with Lancer's wine
Oh
and
yeah.
vodka
Oh wow.
in the
Mixed?
bag.
That's good.
Mixed.
Mixed.
So we'd go skiing,
Yeah.
and my buddy John would smile at me at the end of the day, and he had just pure purple
Yeah.
teeth.
I've been to wine tasting events, and with these, Todd, the wine guy,
Yeah.
and his teeth are all purpled out, and you're like, dude.
Well, we called them poinsettias. I don't know why, but
So
Lancer's wine and cheap vodka.
Jeff grew up in Greeley, Colorado, and he moved
Yeah.
to Philadelphia, and he was running a distillery. He actually built the distillery. He ran the distillery. He made the distillery what it was. But on their way to Sturgis
In
one
Loveland.
year,
Oh, that was in Colorado. Yeah.
we all, there's 10 of us, Luke, Lance, Juan. No,
Yeah.
Juan wasn't around.
No,
We had a nice
it
group
was
of
the
guys.
original crew.
And
Yeah.
the distillery had a cabin 10,000 feet up in the Rockies.
Yeah. That
And
was a
we
good
went up
time.
there and hung out, spent the night, barbecued.
You have to 4-wheel your ass off to get in there too.
Right.
Tinkerbell.
Really,
We had 2
Tinkerbell,
trucks.
and we had the Burb, which I still have. I actually had it shipped out to Philly.
Oh, did
The
you?
Burb, and my
No.
son. We're working on it, and that's his rig. He turns 16 in April.
Nice.
So we had Sea Bear. Was Sea Bear there?
No, that was
So,
Mike
but there was-
Tarantino.
There was
Yeah.
a whole group of guys in the Burb,
Yeah,
and I think the
Lance
three of us
was driving
were
it.
in
The Black Pearl.
the Black Pearl.
yeah.
And
the
you
big
said,
Ford
watch this, because they had all their windows down, and you just laid on the gas,
dust and just
Diesel.
and this diesel
I
just cloud.
I smoked him out.
Just smoked him out.
Well, that's because Lance's son was driving.
Right.
Lance and his son and I have always had like he's always tried to, thrash me, and I've tried to, get him. I just ran across some pictures when I was back when we bought the Go Peds. Remember,
Oh,
your
yeah.
son was really into his little dragster Go Ped, and I bought one and would rip around the neighborhood with him.
I think that was the first time I actually met Jeff
when
when we went to Sturgis. I think
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so,
Yeah.
man.
personally. I mean, I'd seen you on stuff that
Yeah,
videos that you
around.
send
Yeah, the
around.
home videos, the
Yeah,
Barry
that's,
Manilow's.
yeah,
There's one thing, and I think I've shared this with you with Lance Jr. This is 5-6 years ago. So Lance was just starting to maybe get into drag, and it was pre kind of the thrash and really explosion.
uh-huh.
And the one night we were there, you and Lance walked down by the jacuzzi that you had made.
Yeah, out of the horse
And
tank.
I could hear you having a conversation with him about life and business, and
Yeah,
giving him words of praise and
yeah.
trying to pump him up. And I knew from that moment that you're a good guy.
Well, I appreciate that. You guys
Now, I
have
didn't
come
really
a long
like
way.
last time I saw you.
When you guys
Soda can was out.
when you guys started 2Lane, I was here for your birthday,
Yep.
and you guys, you knew you were going to go that direction. And I can say now, like 3 years later, and I've had friends of mine call me about you guys. And
Really?
Yeah. The guys that ride bikes. It has come so far, and it's not just the products that you guys have, but it's the adventures that I'm certain tons of people have watched your shows and then said, dude, let's do that same ride those guys did. And let's go to those same places, and if you just put a little bit more strip club stops in there, I'd get back into it and just go there in a pickup truck.
Well, let's go.
No,
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't like that. I'm just kidding. But,
So yeah,
No, but
Jeff
I-
grew up hunting, fishing,
Yeah.
rafting, traveling himself as well, just not on a motorcycle. So should we teach him how to ride one and get him on a trip?
I think it'd be like you should do it just as like I could be the guinea pig for those guys that are out there in the world that have never touched the throttle on a Harley, certainly not at a state fair, but even in general. Can I get on one? I know how to drive a stick. I know how to ride motorcycles. I've ridden off-road trail biking when at Colorado up at that cabin. We had bikes up there and we would go all over. But it's so intimidating how big those motorbikes are. And like, what if it fucking tips over on your leg? Like, I don't know.
Well,
Once
then you
you're-
break it.
Yeah.
Yeah, darn.
Once you're riding them, they're like feathers, though.
Yeah, I need to go for that
I mean,
experience.
if you've
And
ridden dirt,
yeah,
you'll be fine.
yeah. I mean, and I can ride a bicycle, and I see I have a couple of women friends that I've known that have Harleys, and I'm stronger than them. I don't care what they say. I'm a man.
I mean, think about it. It's balance.
Yeah.
And it's getting through the gears.
Yeah.
And if you've ridden a dirt bike, you know the gears.
Sure.
So what we need to do is get him a bike when we go out there through Eagle Rider.
Right.
And
they have
put
a
him on one.
Right.
Yeah, maybe they have a spot where you dudes can just, give it a little test around the parking lot.
But we can get you on a smaller bike.
We've got to get him to get a license,
Harley.
though, if we use Eagle Rider.
All right.
Well,
so he can take that.
I can take that training course in Pennsylvania where they have like everybody gets a 150 Yamaha and goes around through the cones and stuff. I don't know if they still do it, but I could do it. I want to try and drive. I know I would never own one. I don't think I'd ever get into it, but I don't know. You don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
you're an adventurous too. Like you like to fish.
I do. I like
to run rivers.
Yeah.
You like the outdoors.
I like the roads you guys are on because those are the roads that we drove our whole lives. Like how many times we've gone up to the Kern. When I was a young man, I lived in Steamboat Springs and my parents lived down in Greeley. And I would travel up the Poudre Canyon into North Park and make that solo journey all the time in my 64 Chevy, pickup. And I can't imagine driving that with the wind in your hair on a nice summer day, running the Poudre Canyon and, driving the Steamboat from, that's one of my favorite towns of all. And
we've gone over the Rockies.
Steamboat,
yeah,
and then went down towards Denver.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a Poudre Pass.
No, there's different ways to get there. You guys probably went straight down into Edwards to I-70 and down, but I mean, over Rabbit Ears Pass, and there's so much great stuff. And like, I don't know how you guys camp, but if you like pull over and tent it, or you always have destinations so you can stay in.
We always have destinations. We have done a Kern River camp trip. That's a video, but we usually go to hotels.
Yeah, that's what I would rather do that. Our days of sleeping on the ground are over.
Yeah.
We did so many of them.
Yeah.
At Wino Flats.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
how's it going over there?
What you're saying?
Good. I just had to step out for a little phone call, but we are back.
What you're saying on the camping?
What?
You don't camp anymore.
I could because we did, and it was okay.
I know, but you'd rather camp in a hotel.
Oh, I'd much rather camp.
Yeah, I camp right now a lot because my son's going for Eagle Scout.
Nice.
He's in a big scout troop that camps every month, rain or shine, on snow, you name it.
So wait, the Boy Scouts, they're still a thriving thing.
Very much so, yeah.
I mean, and that's in Philadelphia because I don't see or hear of anyone around
here.
They
have them.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, because West Point Military Academy and the Naval Academy in Annapolis, that's a high thing on your resume to have an Eagle Scout tag.
Really?
Okay. We went to Camporee in West Point this year in 2022. 4,500 scouts from all over the country there. And the whole entire operation is run by cadets, which is teaching them how to, deploy, get soldiers, get them camped out, get them water, get them in their thing. And then 5:30 in the morning, there was cadets knocking on your door, getting you out there for calisthenics and stuff. And I was just like, no, I'm having coffee.
So Eagle Scouts, that's the highest.
That's the highest rank. My son right now is a senior patrol leader of his troop.
Wow.
And it's a good deal. He's done a lot of youth leadership training.
Cool.
And for a young man, that's kind of a cool thing.
Absolutely.
I made it to a Life Scout.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have. That's right.
That's right. His rank right now.
And I was like, football kicked in, and that was.
You were this close.
Yes.
But,
it's one thing I always look back on and say, man, I should have just done that.
Yeah.
I had all the merit. I had everything lined up.
Everything
I
at
didn't
that
have
point.
the project lined up.
Right. That's a big
because they
one.
have to do a service project.
They got their Eagle Scout project's a big deal.
Well, I was a Indian guide and then a Cub Scout, and then I think that was it.
I right away was selling weed, by the way. No, I'm just kidding. No, my dad was
before it was legal.
Yeah, no. My dad was a big camper, fisher, hunter, and like I did join scouts, and then I went, these guys are pussies, man. I'm not. My dad's worst trip smokes this.
Right.
Like we would go up in the high country and fish and hunt and do all that stuff. So I feel you on that. I poo-pooed the
It was
scout.
like too organized.
Yeah, it is. It's very.
But I agree with you. I think, and I grew up in the Mormon religion, so it was a big part of the religion.
Yes, it is.
Because they wanted, and it's kind of interesting how tides have changed. I mean,
yeah,
there wasn't all this social media stuff that you had to deal with.
Right.
And so, but the Mormons wanted the kids in mutual, they wanted them, doing scouts, so that there was always something to do and growth.
Didn't you grow up with some Mormon stuff?
Yeah, my family's Mormon because my dad's from Western Wyoming, and my grandfather and all my family on my dad's side is, they're all in Utah and different places. And
well, I guess we're Jack.
Yes, we are. We're brothers. You know that. I'm a Jack. I remember going to the Mormon church and then finally at one point just saying to my dad, "Can I not do this anymore?"
Wow.
Well, there's some good stuff out there.
Oh, for the family stuff.
The family stuff
tight,
and the community that they keep is pretty.
It's heavy.
I like the stocking of the house with
emergency
survival.
preparedness.
The hundreds of pounds of
2
wheat
years
berries.
Yeah. My dad used to lead those classes.
I like that.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And you never know. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but the day that
it
you
kind of happens.
Yeah.
I mean, in 2020, all of a sudden there's no eggs, there's no toilet paper, there's no where the hell did all that go?
How was that around here?
Crazy.
Pretty
kind of
crazy.
shitty. You went to the bathroom with no toilet paper, man, shit hits the fan.
Oh yeah. Well, we just had been saving corn cobs at our house and he would just scrape out with them. They're great.
Old school.
Yeah, it's old school.
Jeff lives in a great house. How old is that house?
It's like 100 years. It's on a really cool piece of property, though.
Mountaintop, the house on top,
Great
and then
view.
just acres down.
Yeah, just hunting in the backyard if you want. Do whatever. I walk the dogs out there now. Geese everywhere, deer everywhere.
So you recently sent a video of the property, and I think there were some chickens in it.
Yeah, I have chickens. I do. I've always had them.
We were on the phone last week.
Yeah.
Right? Because this guy doesn't trust his partner.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Only
yeah,
in
right. We were
business.
talking about chickens. Yeah.
So we're having a chicken egg shortage here.
Yeah.
Well, I've been able to get eggs.
Bird flu.
Oh, yeah. He wanted to build like a chicken coop on the side of his house.
Dude, you do not want to do that. And
no, I wanted him to build it.
I would have built it, but
we called Jeff and Lance said, I'm thinking about, chickens. And what did you say?
To know chickens or to have chickens is to know death.
To know death.
Because they kill, they die, they get killed. I mean, it's just
for
one
no reason
thing after another. Yeah. They get an egg stuck in the, up in there and they get the egg lock up.
And he doesn't realize there's lice and all this.
Mites and lice. And
I mean,
it's so bad.
Now you kind of free range your stuff.
I do mine. Mine are free range 100%. I mean, they're in at night.
Yep.
I let them out. I close the door at night. I also do little predator management on my place. So
wait a second. You're going to be here for 4 days. Who's watching the chickens?
Well, I got my son, my scout.
He's got it?
Yeah, he's got it.
My dad used to trick the chickens.
Oh,
so he would have on a timer every day. The light was on at the same time and went off at the same time because then they knew when it was time to start laying eggs.
I got you.
So even when because we had different fallback, spring forward, those kind of things, he would have it. So they never knew what was going on, but he was tricking.
In the wintertime,
we were getting a ton of yield out of the eggs.
Egg production in the wintertime is tough. They'll slow up. They'll shut off unless you keep high protein. Like a lot of people are feeding mealworms to them now. You can buy them in big bags on Amazon and whatever. And if you can keep protein going to them, this winter's been so easy in the Northeast. We've had no snow. I doubt we'll even get any. Georgia's had more snow than New York City because we just haven't had any. And my chickens are out digging and they're eating worms and bugs that are still underneath all those leaves.
So the eggs.
So I'm getting eggs, and you don't need that many chickens. If you have 3 or 4 hens, you're going to get 2 or 3 eggs a day. No, but think about that. That's 60 eggs a month. That's plenty.
I'm a 3-egger a dayer.
Well, then you got to get at least 5 chickens. Maybe you can get them so fresh you can just go out there and then lay down in the hen house and they'll plop one down in your mouth.
Do you need a cock in the coop?
You don't, but I use them for free ranging because they keep the
Predators.
hens safe.
Yeah.
That's all they do out there.
But then they tear the shit out of the back of the
But
hen.
here's the thing. I lucked out this year. I have probably one of the only roosters that is gay. He does not have sex with my hens.
No?
It's so weird. And he's a stud, but he's weird. And there were, he doesn't
I saw
diddle.
him going after your dog, though.
Yeah, well, he gets he's always trying to flex his muscles a little bit, but good stuff out there. Chicken farming.
Right?
I was a chicken farmer.
Yeah, we did a video on that probably 40 years ago.
Yeah.
We used to do videos, believe it or not.
I've seen them.
My dad had the
Yes.
camcorder and the
Oh
side
my
thing.
God,
And every
they're
Friday night or Saturday, our whole family was
I-
making skits.
Yeah, and we did the
Lauren
one
built
where
one.
Lance and I were chicken farmers and a nuclear silo blew up or something.
We took Scotch tape and
We were
taped
all
our faces
melted.
with
We saw the flash of the nuclear bomb. Whatever. We're crazy.
Oh man.
Good
so
stuff.
Well, we were going to have Gogo on,
yeah.
and then we had to cancel her because Dave, we needed to reschedule Dave from Custom Dynamics.
And then he bounced.
Then he had a conflict, and we ended up with this guy.
Yeah, just a straggler from the back in time.
Right?
Yeah, I just got out of prison. It was weird in there. One dude tried, some stuff with me. I killed him.
This is the story?
No, but I could be, like that guy. Lance had his friend that got out of prison come on the show.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that could be a good show.
What do you got over there?
We get all kinds of comments over here. Where do I start? What are you drinking? First off, Woodford Reserve is what I'm drinking. What are you drinking?
I'm having a New Belgium. Thank you, Alex and team, for supporting us with the New Belgium
Yeah, buddy.
IPAs.
From Colorado.
Voodoo Ranger. You've got the premium Imperial IPA.
Imperial IPA Voodoo Ranger in a bottle.
Ooh,
Boom. I mean, we get all kinds of stuff on here.
Really?
Nice.
But yeah, Eagle Scouts for the win. This guy is a maniac.
Ooh.
Yes, Jeff. This dude is epic. Yeah, I think you got some fans already.
See? All right,
Easy
well,
money.
that's good news. At least nobody's, calling the cops.
right. That
so
could happen later.
You spend a little time down in Florida. Are you fishing?
I do.
Or what are
Well,
you
I've
doing?
been going down there for 25 years to the Keys. All the Keys basically, in my book, start at Key Largo. And that's just not really that far, like an hour south of Miami. And then we work on boats. The company I work on, we do a lot of, we do Viking yachts out of New Gretna, Pennsylvania. We do every countertop on every one of their boats. We do all of the stone and marble work, but we also do high-end kitchen and bath cabinetry and counters. So we're doing big
For
compounds.
homes and boats?
Yeah,
Or-
for boats. We do countertop replacements on boats out of the yacht center in West Palm there.
Mhm.
But we also do a lot. We do some cool projects down in the Keys. They kind of pick and choose. But I noticed that more and more we're working for builders that are building big homes.
Mhm.
And when one of the things about Florida, I will say, or about the Keys for sure, is it's not really easy to find quality craftsmanship down there. They have their own kind of, vibe going on where the guy shows up at like 10 and works till like 1 and then leaves. And that's kind of been like the standing joke. We, run a really tight ship. We get our stuff in and out and do a really good job. We bring all the stone and everything comes out of Philadelphia on the stone side, and the cabinets come from Kentucky. We use Mauser down there, which is a good brand. And
So that's why you guys are scoring the work, because if you do what you say you're going to do, you win.
you do win. And
Yeah.
we could get so busy down there, but we pick and choose who we work for, what builders we work for, I guess. And the company I work for has landed on some good people. But I'm going to tell you, honestly, and I haven't spent the summer in Phoenix, but I know it's hot. But I have never, ever been as hot as it is down in the Keys in July and August, man. It is so hot down there. The humidity is beyond 100%. And at 90 degrees out, it just boils you. So I'm not a fan of working in the Keys in the summer. But then again, if you're down there for vacationing, it doesn't really matter. You're by a swimming pool. I've fished all over the place. Tuna, big, grouper bottom fishing, deep dropping, sail fishing. We know a lot of really great fishermen out of the Keys. I want to get you guys down there if you.
I'd love to do that.
You were telling us we're going to Daytona, and where were you telling us to go on?
Well, if you're just going to drive down south of Miami for a short trip, you want to definitely go to Alabama Jack's on Card Sound Road out of Key Largo. And that's like a killer spot. But then you want to maybe go down as far as Isle Morada, go to Worldwide Sportsman, have a drink there. You can fish out of there. There's a lot of great guides, flats fishing if you want to sight cast for bonefish or snook. But if you want to go deep sea, you can do that, because the thing about Isle Morada is one side is the Gulf and the other side is the Atlantic, and everything's available. Wahoo, sailfish. It's unbelievable how close the Bahamas are, from Florida. Right. So it is a sport fishing mecca. It's something to check out.
Well, I'm not going to fish there unless you're there.
I will be there when you guys are ready to put together a fishing trip. Maybe we could build like a boat that has a Harley in it, like with a paddle wheel on the back, and just you can sit on it and rev and it just like zoom out into the.
That goes along with our helmet idea.
Yeah.
Lance would like to build a helmet that has ear doors that you can scratch your ear.
Yeah,
I want
get in there.
Like a colander on top of your hair. So you just spin it and it itches. It scratches.
I got you. Don't have to take your.
Yeah.
So I guess that when you're on it, you have a helmet on. Yeah.
If you have a helmet on for 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
If you just had a door, and what would you do? Do your noise.
Yeah, you just open the door and just.
Little squeaky finger in the hole.
Or if you get like a colander, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get an itch up here. You're moving your helmet to try to.
Maybe, like you see how Iron Man, like he just pushes a button and the helmet could just like come off for a minute. And then,
that'd be good.
Flak.
Yeah. So now you're getting into AI.
Yeah, it's tough. AI is going to change our world. Just ask Elon Musk.
So, the cool thing about motorcycle travel is you load your bike up. You're all excited. Day one, you hit it. You have great food, drinks along the way, get to the hotel, go to bed. Getting up the next morning and just loading the bike up again, and no, you're not turning around to go home. You're going to keep going farther. That's awesome.
That's the feeling.
And the stuff you see all day, it's just, like when you go to Sturgis or you do Route 66 or roads that we've been on for hundreds of miles, and you just see this stuff across America, and you see a lot of American flags. It's pretty badass.
Yeah, I bet.
I would relate it to like a fishing trip where you're going to moor 4 or 5 different places, or where you're going to, or even on a river trip where your campsite changes every day.
I love waking up. I tell people this. I RV'd for a bunch of years, and my biggest thing was to wake up with a cup of coffee, watching a new sunrise every summer.
That's awesome.
Whether it's in Nebraska or wherever, I just dig seeing, and I love little towns.
And that was cool, like staying at the cabin that you had.
Yeah, that was cool up there.
We get up in the morning. We got to fire some firearms off. That was cool.
Yeah, you can do everything. We made some pipe bombs.
Yeah. The first thing this guy wanted was a handgun.
I know. Well,
we had a pistol in the distillery,
and I had it on.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
So talk a little bit about the distillery, because we were there.
You don't have to mention the name.
You don't have to talk about that, but
that's fine.
Since we drink,
so
you opened a room that you had built, that had this like incredibly flammable alcohol in it.
Oh yeah. So
and then you sent us off with the mason jar of stuff. So talk a little bit about that whole process.
The way that distilling from grain to alcohol is a process. You have moonshiners that do it, and that's a very primitive type of distillation. And then when vodka obviously is the easiest way to explain it, because vodka has two ingredients: pure ethanol and water. And the distillery we had, we got our water from that cabin. We had an artesian mineral spring well at 9,000 feet. We harvested the water, took it down to the distillery, filtered it down to 0.02 micron, which is just getting anything that could be in there that would be a contaminant of microorganism or anything. And then we would rectify that water with 95.7% pure ethanol. That ethanol was made from corn. And so that's the flavor of that particular vodka. I mean, some vodkas were made from potatoes. Some are made from ethanols that are less than 95%. You can purchase those beverage ethanols from a number of different places across the country. If you tried to make that kind of ethanol yourself, it's not a real lucrative business, because if you think about distilling versus brewing, if you ferment 100 gallons of beer to 10% alcohol, let's say, and you can bottle 100 gallons of beer. If you ferment 100 gallons of corn of the same exact stuff that's 10% alcohol, that means there's only 10 gallons of alcohol in there. And then that 10 gallons, some of it's bad, some of it's good. You have to get to the good part of it. So you really only get about 6 gallons of ethanol per 100 at 10% alcohol. And 10% is a really good fermentation. So there's a lot of cost and a lot of work to try and make pure ethanol.
So the room was that was a storage room that was made for holding that level of flammable product, because it's really flammable. Because if it went,
it would just and sometimes, like, ethanol, so it's like rubbing alcohol. It doesn't even really produce a flame for a while, and then it's on fire. And that many gallons, we always had several hundred gallons,
and we drink it.
And we drank it straight.
So we really did a trip on Route 66, and we went to a rum distillery in Kingman, Arizona.
Yeah.
And the clear rums and the brown, we did a tasting with 10 different rums.
Yeah.
We were kind of hammered when we were done.
I bet.
But I really kind of was like, wow, rum is good.
It's got a lot of sugar content in it, and there's a really great rum distillery in Key West if you ever want to visit, a really great one downtown Duval, off of Duval Street. But yeah, I like rum. Rum's good. Rum's really high in sugar, but it was really a great product back in the sailor days. Think about it, when you didn't have anything. Yeah, pirates, but they could make it because they had a lot of sweet fruit, really.
So I didn't know this. I heard this on the TV the other day, that beer is made with, Japanese beer is done with rice.
Sure.
And regular beer is done with
barley
and wheat and whatever. Yeah. So actually, for dietary reasons, Japanese beer would be better for you.
I think Budweiser's done with
Bud
rice.
Light.
Is it really?
Budweiser is rice, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
one of
you
the
can
few.
drink Bud.
There you go.
If you want to do
Budweiser. Yeah, I mean, beer making is a huge thing, I mean, everywhere it's got a microbrewer down the street. So, I mean, my hat's off to them.
Well, I think you've made some beer at your house, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my hat's off to those guys. The craft distilling world's tough. Very hard to compete against every company that's around you that's $1 billion company,
Right.
But some people found craft spirits to be a cool thing. I found out the hard way it's not a real good money maker right out of the gate or anything. And but you never know, man. I mean, Tito's handmade vodka, I will say, is a leader in the country, billions of dollars in sales. And I support that guy. He worked really hard to get it where it is and make a name for craft distilling all around. So drink more Tito's.
What about Stoli?
Stoli is European, and I'm not for those guys.
You're not for them. That's my vodka of choice.
I don't care.
You always
I'm
get
a
Tito's.
Tito's guy.
No, he gets
I do
Tito's.
Tito's.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Buy American. We're America.
Yes, that's true. And that's why we ride Harleys.
Right on. Okay, where are Harleys made? Pennsylvania, right?
There's a couple different places.
There's a big place in PA.
Yeah.
Huge.
Are they in Milwaukee? I don't, we got to.
We got to look at that.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I know that not far from where I live is a big Harley plant.
Yeah.
And big deal. All my buddies rode Harleys.
The bikes that are made for overseas are not made typically from the U.S.
Got you.
So,
in fact, I know one of mine was from Philadelphia.
Yeah, I know that. I don't know. It'd be cool to know the Harley history. So let's get on that. Next time on 2LaneLIVE, we'll be talking about the history of Harley-Davidson.
Well,
So
the
it
Harley
says-
main headquarters, have you ever seen pictures of it? It's a huge building.
Yeah, I have.
Well, it's empty.
Oh.
There's a few designers and people that work there, but they're kind of repurposing it because there's a big, beautiful museum.
They're doing it differently now.
It's like across a few miles away,
Right.
but they want to make it some kind of a destination,
Got it.
with the Harley who's still involved.
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think when you're out
corporate
there,
headquarters, different,
yeah, that'd be cool to visit.
different way of working today.
Yeah,
you know what I
think
mean?
about it. The
So-
robotics and so much going on.
Well, and just-
3D printing.
Well, and people working out of their
working from
house now. And
Yeah.
that's changed the whole landscape.
But you can't
Oh,
fix
man.
a light socket from your house, and you can't
they
build
don't
a
need
cabin.
to.
That's where I come in.
right.
I think I'm going to start. I want my son, and I want all of us are all capable, but there's a whole generation out there that can't fix stuff. And
Nothing.
I feel bad because, obviously the blue collar world's been looked down on by certain people. Well, the reality is the blue collar, industry is going to help save the day. So maybe some of these young guys coming out of, that aren't going to go into AI and robotics can just become handymen,
which we need.
be in the trades.
Where do you find a good roofer? Where do you find a good electrician?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, I think, it's a huge challenge
Yeah.
because you could be a lineman and make 150,000 the first year out,
Yeah. Wow.
as a
That's
trade,
awesome.
but kids don't want to do that. We've got a kid over there that has a great work ethic. There's kids over in Thrash, and Lance talks about this. There's my kid,
Yeah.
your kid, that actually are hardworking people.
They are.
But it's definitely a challenge, and we don't get political, but for our country, it's a challenge. I mean,
But I think that there's
the
more.
infrastructure that we have that needs to be rebuilt, and the people, where are we getting the jobs from?
Who's
And
building the bridges? Who's building the
That's
roads?
just-
Badasses. That's who. And
Yeah.
we need more of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I work with 25-year-olds every day. I'm an old codger with old school work ethic. And every once in a while, someone will stick out.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, damn, that guy's amazing. Right.
Right.
For a young buck that's in
Right.
his 20s, But, it's also about pay. Everybody wants to hit that golden 6-figure, and kids are getting it out of college right away, working for big corporate America, and it doesn't happen in the blue collar world, and for good reason, because it sucks when you don't know what you're doing and you're a plumber and you
Right.
screw up shit.
Literally, you screw up shit.
Exactly. So let's, it takes a while to make the big bucks.
So you're an advocate for blue collar work.
I mean, I blue collar my whole life. My dad was a school teacher, but everyone I'm around some extremely successful entrepreneurial guys. Obviously you guys are that as well, but man, I got to be honest with you. Not everybody went to college.
No.
Some of the biggest, most successful guys I know just built infrastructures
Right.
underneath them.
Right.
But I was talking to one of them whose company does hundreds of millions a year. And he said, Jeff, you're only as good as what you're good at. So you're only going to make he's like, I'm a a concrete finisher. That's what I'm really good at. I just happen to have a $200 million company that I built underneath me. However, if I had to go out and work today,
Right.
I'd get, finished
Right.
concrete. wages. And that's the way I am. I work for someone else, but at the end of the day,
you did your own thing. You did your own cabinets. You went to sign painting school. You did a lot of.
I did a lot of. It's hard on your own, but you got to tell these young guys that there's hope.
Yeah.
You get good, and the ones that have a business mind will prosper, and they'll feed families.
Well, think about this story for a minute. There's a young guy, he's 24, just graduates college, goes to his parents and says, I'm hooking up for my first job out of college with 2 old farts. I'm going to edit their film.
Yeah.
And
drive
mom
around.
is like, wait, well, hold on just a minute.
iPhones.
And ride around on a
we told
Harley.
him he's got a business degree, go get it, son. And here he is with 2 old farts, not knowing if they're ever going to film anything again, but we've got one. and here we are 3 years later.
He gets to ride a motorcycle.
What made you say, I'm going to keep doing this?
The keep doing this versus the do it now, I guess, is a whole different thing. But I'd rather have my parents resent me for 5 years than me resent them for the rest of my life.
Nice.
Because if I took the job that I could have gotten out of school, yeah, you're right. You get some good money out of school. You have your time, and then you're sitting behind a cubicle pissed off 5 years later, but you got the pat on the back from your parents. Versus you take the risk, they're pissed off for a couple of years, and now they're stoked. So shorter than 5 years, still pumped, out of the house, doing my thing.
So, Josh, he gets to travel the country. He gets to do a lot of things, and he kind of weaseled his way in. He owns 95% of the company. Galen and I are
That's weird that you guys got drunk enough to sign that document.
Right? We each have 2.5 points shares each.
Oh, geez. He's also good at magic cards.
And I get the drink.
I did the corporate life for 30 years.
Good answer.
Yeah.
And I don't have really anything bad to say about it because my progression was from the bottom to the top, and I didn't let anything stop me. And then we were buying stuff every couple of years, so it's almost like a new spin. But there's definitely, we were talking about it today, or yesterday, there's definitely these jobs that you just get into, and it's like, can you believe that I'm still doing this job, and how angry and upset you are going to work every day?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a challenge out there because not every, like even with my son, he decided he went to college. He's a corporate recruiter, C-level executives, Deutsche Bank, helps a couple out and decides he wants to be a fireman.
Nice.
So
now he's a firefighter.
Yes, he gets more pay because he did graduate from college.
Right.
But he's a firefighter and he's doing what he wants to do and what he loves to do, which is helping people.
Well, that you just said 2 key things: what you want to do and what you love to do.
That's everybody's dream. A lot. You get caught up in the rut of the bills, and I work with this young man right now, and I'm like, "You're only 24. You know what? This is the time you should just roll out and go see some stuff,
right? Right.
Move to California, move to wherever it is that you think is going to be fun just for a few years. And you always can come back and work for, dad's company or whatever it is that you want to do. But
I've done pretty much any kind of job situation I've wanted to my whole life. And I've kind of always been on my own. It's kind of really cool that 2LaneLIVE he come from the corporate, but he had to be an entrepreneur to get to where he had to get because he left Utah, did his thing. So we have the 2 ends of the spectrum. We have the corporate, and we have the just winging it dude. So we kind of mesh the stuff together, and it's like, there's good things to take from both sides of those.
There's blue collar. And I'd say that term broadly, meaning anyone that will work with their hands to make a living.
Yeah.
And then there's corporate America. And that's all from my experience working, because the guys that I did the distillery with were hardcore corporate. Their structure level taught me so much. And that structure is important to the success of any company. You know, you might be a winging it dude on the top of a big company, but guaranteed not far below you, it's structured with guys. So, you know, that's the beauty of what you guys have as a partnership, where you both got a really strong suit in both in many directions.
And the whole thing evolved because of motorcycles,
right?
Specifically Harley-Davidson.
Doing what you like,
right?
Riding bikes,
right? It's all about the passion. And then passion and love creates the energy to make this brand where we travel, we share. Our biggest thing is we like to be storytellers. We like to help people. We like to share how to travel and what parts to do it. And then it turned into the business side of the store. You know,
that's amazing. Yeah, the store. You guys, everybody wants to, you know, wants your gear, and I encourage all people to right now go to that phone and buy, you know.
2LaneLIVE.com.
Yeah, get some stickers, get some shirts, buy a drag pipe for your bike, whatever it is.
Well, I mean, that's what allows us to travel.
Sure.
Quite frankly.
How's it going over there, John?
And
it's going great.
Lance and I have not taken a lot of money out of the company.
Nice.
We're trying to reinvest it.
Sure.
We wanted to take more, but Josh takes it all.
Yeah, he's got the 95. You guys are screwed.
You guys see Josh's latest pictures of his bike. You guys check it out.
FXRP
I'm
fairing.
gonna have to show.
Show it. FXRP fairing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, put that on.
Here.
By Clockworks. You can pre-order 2LaneLIVE.com. $1. That's all it's going to cost.
$1
pre-order.
It's a pre-order.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
So that's
I subscribed today.
FXRP on the Road King.
Wow,
green.
look at that.
Woo.
Thing does look good. You know, it's like
good.
this. This is a motorcycle channel. We ride, like I say, storytellers and stuff. But this conversation is kind of fun. You know,
it's good. I think it's good to, you know, see it from a bunch of different angles. You know, that's why you guys are successful. You got three guys here that you know, Josh is the young buck on the you know, IT side, keeping you guys like how to use your phones and stuff. And
but it's cool. And he mentioned earlier, Josh, my son, and all the guys that work at Thrashin', they're all young. They have one guy our age over there, but the young guys, and they have this work ethic, and we hang with them. We talk with them. We work with them. It's like, it's refreshing to see these young 20s to 30 building this brand. It's kind of cool.
Well, if you go to Jace's podcast, number 307,
really,
with Dave, he talks about the yin and the yang of us.
Yes. Is that podcast 307?
It is, I believe.
Nice.
You should listen to that. Dave Madison's plugging us and Jace's. And one of the things that he says is we're old guys that make riding look cool.
Yeah, he did.
And I'm not, are we, like, I'm only 55. Actually, I'm 56.
Nice.
So
I'm 63 and damn proud.
I'm not an old guy.
You're old.
Well, listen, when you get to the 6-0, then you can't hide and shit.
But isn't the new isn't 60 like the new
it has to
40?
Be. It has to be because
you're still.
I guarantee
you. Know what I mean?
When our fathers were 60, they were older than us, even though our fathers were cool.
Yeah, we have good fathers.
Their fathers at 50 were old. That was like old men.
What did your father say to him first thing when he saw him today?
What did he say?
He said, "You're a beautiful
I'm trying to die."
Oh.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm trying to die. I can't. I'm 90.
My father's turning 90
and
works in the warehouse
and drives car everywhere.
Golfs.
Yeah.
You know.
We need to get him in here.
And my father's the first one that'll have a cigar and whiskey with you and tell you to fuck off.
Yeah, that's true, man. He is a stud. I'm here because of it, to be honest with you.
I love that woman.
I
love that woman. I love that woman.
Yes.
And she stood up for me many times with a jar of cold cream in her purse and waxed some.
Oh man. And she did. Like she would just she probably made some men retarded. I know. She was at many of brawls in Youngstown, Ohio.
My dad was a fighter. He used to box when he was in the Army, and then he was into boxing and fighting. But if anyone looked at him wrong when he was young or looked at my mom, he got jealous. And he said there's a few times that guys were on top of him, and my mom whacked him in the head with her purse. And she always carried a full jar of cold cream. So she'd knock guys out.
Oh, for sure. And a big thing.
Those of you that are under 45, cold cream is like an ice cream.
Let me ask you this,
It's
Jeff. Who's Linda?
Linda?
Well, let's see. Teresa Anderson says, "Hey guys, a friend of mine isn't signed into YouTube but wants to say hi to Jeff. She's watching from Hawaii right now."
Oh, Linda!
Wow.
Hello from Linda.
Tell her hello. I was in Hawaii.
You can say hello to her if she's watching.
But
say hello to Linda.
Hey, Linda. Hey, hello.
What up, Linda?
Hey, peace,
Linda.
Man, that's so great.
Still
Thank
funny.
you. I'm glad that people have remembered me and are still talking to me. No. Yeah, I had a great time. I was in Oahu in May of last year. I had so much fun on the North Shore. Stayed there.
So that was no Insta tea?
That was your wifey.
Yeah.
Hi, Teresa. See you tomorrow night.
There you go. And hers wanted to say hi.
Well,
Friend of yours,
Mine.
Linda. Yeah.
Linda.
Yeah.
All right. Hi.
I think
I know. I asked about her today.
You did?
Yeah.
Linda, he asked about you.
I did.
That's really funny
You did.
because I
That's
thought
okay.
that's
You did.
where Josh was going.
No, I had no
I
idea.
didn't
I was
know.
kind of going,
I forgot the
oh.
lunch.
She's in
conversation.
Hawaii. I kind of threw me off there.
Wait, so
I think
did
she's
Teresa
still-
say she's watching?
I thought Teresa might be in Hawaii.
Oh.
I was kind of confused, if I'm being honest.
No, she's at home.
Okay.
She
Yeah,
better be.
well,
at home.
yeah,
Teresa has got a
maybe-
problem.
She has a really good friend who is just absolutely beautiful. And I was friends with her back in the day when I was a young stud. So if she's out there, hello.
So the Linda that just wanted to say hi, you're saying that she's really beautiful.
She was extremely beautiful. Yeah.
You hear that, Linda?
I'm sure she still is.
I'm sure you would know. Yeah. You have given, I've been asking about that. Yeah. It's excellent. Well, that's, the way it is today.
And we are live on air at
Oh.
2LaneLIVE. This episode is brought to you by Eagle Rider Motorcycle Rentals and Tours. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
And thank you to Belgium.
Jeff, you're a traveler. Seen a lot of cool shit. You spent some time in an RV, on boats, this and that. It's always a hard answer, but where's your favorite place that you've been to?
Well, in the United States, I will say, because I'm a big, I think a lot of people haven't really, experienced our great country. They're all talking about how they went to Europe and Caribbean and whatever. And I'm a big fan of the United States. And by far, the coolest place I've ever been, and I've been to several times, is the Grand Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
Down, through. One unbelievable ditch, boy. I mean, just so much
My
fun.
favorite place too.
I mean, I can't wait to go back. Can't wait to take my kids there.
It's
And
not your favorite.
Have you
place.
been to the North Rim?
yeah,
That's the
Your
rim.
favorite place is
I mean, I've done.
What's the gateway to the Grand Canyon?
Well, we've hiked. I don't know that I have been to the North
So
Rim.
you go
I've hiked
in-
to Phantom Ranch from the South Rim, but
you
then
go
that's
in
as
from
far
the
as I've
Utah
gone.
side.
No, I have not been there. The
spectacular.
Kaibab.
The North Rim
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
1,000 feet higher than the South Rim. You can
Okay.
see the South Rim. Yes, it's the Phantom Ranch Trail that takes
You could go
Yes.
and down to
Yeah, you
Phantom.
but it's we went there and we were blown away with because it doesn't have as many tourists. It's kind of secluded, but the road there's bison on the side of the road. There's deer everywhere.
Wow.
But you pull up to the canyon, you're like, holy crap, this place is like amazing. And
You're actually looking down on the South Rim.
I want to see that.
It's really
Yeah, because I remember that being, really full of trees.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
like the South Rim, like a lot different timber.
it closes in the winter. It gets heavy snow. We stay at Jacob Lake.
But a
which
lot
is an
of
hour
people
away.
start the hike there
That makes
and go
sense.
across to the South Rim.
That's more. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I've hiked down in from South Rim to Phantom Ranch numerous times,
That's a
from
good-
the river up and back
Yeah.
in one day, and it will kick your butt. I mean,
Well, we've been with South Rim several times. We've been the West Rim, did the Skywalk. We've been on the East Rim where the tower is, and the North Rim. We've covered the whole.
We've
I
been
love the
rimmed.
Grand Canyon.
yeah,
yes.
you guys are rimmers. I mean, that might be a cool new T-shirt.
Right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's not go.
Thought of by Jeff McFee.
Yeah.
Rimmed.
Yeah.
We're
Rim,
rimmers.
baby.
If you've been to the whole Grand Canyon, you've been rimmed.
Yeah. Have
I
you
mean,
been
I-
rimmed yet?
Yeah.
I think if you,
It's a lot of walking, man.
yeah. The first time I went, I'd floated different canyons but when you walk up on that, it's like a painting. It's like, it's unreal. It's like, what's the show with Jim Carrey
Oh,
where he's inside the bubble?
right. I know what you're saying. I just don't know.
But it's like, are we in a painting here? Is this like, is that really real
The
over there?
studio.
Or is that
they roll the
it's just
I
tarp down.
remember the first time I saw the canyon from Bright Angel or the South Rim.
lodge there?
Yeah.
But even then, just in some of the lookouts, obviously I boated through it several times. But I got to
Did-
go to the North Rim now.
Did we raft the river together, or was it
No,
separate?
you had done it a couple of years earlier. My first trip was with Donnie Dove and
Oh, okay.
Jones and Paulo and those guys. And
I did it. I've done it 3 times.
Yeah, and I did it a couple times after that. But one time, like it was a hike out at Bright Angel Trail, like only got that far. But 2 trips into Lake Mead,
Yeah, floating across the lake.
just with the stinky trash on your boat,
Well, you
you haul out everything.
definitely need the North Rim.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, it's really.
on a Harley?
I don't know. Isn't there a sidecar thing? Isn't that bitchin'?
We could do that.
I want a chick driving the main Harley though. Linda, learn how to drive a motorcycle.
What else?
What else we got? Well, I stepped out during a couple comments, but the North Rim. I've been answering most of them.
All right, cool. Where's
So,
Donnie
no.
Dove and Steve Jones?
They-
Donnie Dove
and-
lives in Flagstaff.
Donnie Dove, and he owns a company that
Is there Whitewater?
he outfits private rafting trips.
Where was Donnie Dove raised?
Arkansas, I believe.
So no relation to Donnie Osmond.
No, he's not more.
Where's Steve Jones? I want to see what he's.
Jones lived in Flag for a while.
I know he's disappeared. You can't find him anywhere.
Really, Paulo would know, wouldn't he?
You remember we
Castile?
met Paulo on the Stanislaus or the American River?
In his gaucho shirt,
He was with his mom and dad paddling his outrigger he made,
his homemade boat.
and we like met him and hung out. And we said you should work with Chuck Richards. And
God, that
then he
kid.
became a guide.
He went. He's won a couple of Academy Awards
Right,
for time lapse photography. He's just such a talented
He's come
guy.
in here and got setware products.
He's the head of time lapse photography for the Survivor series. His name's in the credits. I noticed it, but
Paulo Castillo.
if you look at some of the films he's made, just unbelievable. And he's really just a good guy. And was our little brother for many, many years.
We called him Mowgli. He looked just like that character Mowgli.
Yeah. So if he's out there, call us. Let's party and hang out.
So
Yeah.
Jeff used to he
You
would
want to
go
give your
from
phone number?
yeah.
I mean, can I please? Can you give it to somebody?
If you'd like.
Wink, wink.
Jeff, when he would live in Greeley, he would go become a ski operator, ski guide in Steamboat. And then in the spring, he'd come to Kern and be a river guide and then go back to the mountain,
Yeah. That was good, man.
Just a vagabond.
Those were good days. That's why I tell these young guys that are in their 20s, they're like hedging, they got a girlfriend, should they buy him
They're
a
in a
ring?
Bitcoin.
And I'm like, you know what you should do is you should go live in Telluride for a winter and ski your ass off. Go just be the chairlift operator. Do whatever you can to live there. Steamboat. I don't care. Flip burgers if you have to, but go live in
And ski every day.
and ski every day and meet people, and then go work on whitewater rafting in the summers. And the Colorado's got a lot of opportunity. California has mad opportunity for whitewater, and the American, the Tuolumne, the Merced, the Kern.
I remember the one time you and Paulo went up into Yosemite or on the Tuolumne.
Yeah,
It was huge.
Oh yeah, man.
And we did the Chevron run.
That's on the Merced. That was at Whitewater Rodeo that we raced in.
Right.
It was slalom, and then they had a hole. But we went up and did the Chevron run with a guy who
was class 5.
It was class 5 gnarly. We were with Lars Holbeck was our lead guy. Unfortunately, he passed away not long ago. He lived in Durango. And married Nancy Wiley, which is another Whitewater chick that had a company there. But that guy was, I paddled the cataracts with him because he was one of those guys that like, let's go boating. And I boated some cataract runs with him. And God, those were savage runs, man.
Cataracts.
Class 5 is crazy.
That was gnarly.
Kern Cataracts is...
Oh, the Kern
before
cataracts.
It was even known.
The cataracts are the lower.
It's the lower.
Also cataracts on the Colorado.
That's true. Cataract Canyon.
Which are gnarly.
Gnarly.
Well,
Gore Canyon.
Yeah.
The Tom Moore's son. Have you seen his stuff?
Evan Moore.
He's gnarly.
Yes. He's one of 2 guys I follow on Insta that just run. They do like 100-foot waterfalls, but it's the pool drop cataracts in the lower Kern that'll blow your mind watching him run that shit.
Right.
It's just so savage. But we're 60. Stuff. I feel like I can still do it.
I still have my C1. We should
go
put
try it.
I'm gonna go lift some weights after this in front of a mirror and just
we should put it in the pool and see if we can ride it upside down again.
Oh yeah, we can. Roll the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Right on.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I want to go run the Kern, whatever. I want to do whatever.
How we looking at time there,
the Kern.
Hour 5.
Hour 5?
Plenty of juice in the camera. We're good.
What time is it?
It is 5:05.
Aha. We are going to wrap it up pretty soon.
Don't we have to be somewhere at 5?
To dinner or something?
At Lance's?
6:30.
6:30? Okay, good.
So, yeah. So, wow. You guys, next week, you got to watch episode 2 of our Loneliest Highway through Nevada.
The actual US 50 from your Ely to
Fallon. But we hit a couple small towns in between.
Yeah, and then we actually are heading to, from there, Death Valley. I mean, it's going to be a great little series. It's awesome, fun. I mean, you're seeing the pictures. People are kind of digging it
so
now.
How random is this? We're in Eureka. And Mike Shaw, the counselor Shaw, someone walks in and says, "Hey, are those your bikes?" And Mike is actually, or is married to his niece. So he, in this town of 200, maybe
in the middle of nowhere,
the graduating class is
walks
20
in
kids.
and so we did a little piece with him. But the Shaw family, when we first started our very first drop, we went to Death Valley, but on the way, was it on the way, or was it on coming out of
on the way out in
Valley of Fire? Where did we see Ryan Shaw's brother?
We were in Vegas on our first.
Yeah.
So
this whole family Shaw has got some history with us from the first drop we ever did.
Right.
To now we're sitting in a town of 200 with Eureka, and his buddy walks in.
But they did the counselor
related.
They did that trip with us to Moab.
They did a trip to Moab with us, or a day with us. So pretty cool. Watch that. You're gonna love it. And
we have some great press releases coming out about some new ventures that have happened, handshaking, and so it's going to be good stuff.
We can't read that. Read it to us.
Let's see the sign.
We are
okay. I will relay the info.
But we are
Laura.
Wrapping it up.
2 minutes, Laura.
We're 2 minutes.
What are you trying to tell us?
We have a visit.
You got to do it on the mic.
Can you see me?
You guys met our dear friend Jeff. I'm sure you've had a great time today, and look forward to watching.
Let me see your note.
So Linda actually is watching.
Here,
say hi to Linda.
Linda Shields.
Linda Shields. Linda.
We weren't.
Get out of here. Is she really?
Yeah.
You got to get.
I don't know how this works, but yes, I said hi to her. Isn't that great?
That's so cool.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Anyway, so I'm going to go home right now, and you guys have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you down the road.
We're going to leave here in a few minutes.
All right.
Now
that's drive safe. My bag's
let
in
me
your
tell
car,
you, that's a
which is
2-lane
fine.
wife right there.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
We'll see you down the road.
Yeah.
2-lane wife.
2Lane Life, 2Lane Wife, right there.
Right.
Well, they have their own Instagram called 2 Lane Wives.
Okay.
My
So-
daughter coined that term.
Yes.
And that's an excellent deal. man.
Yes.
So watch the series. Get your friends to subscribe to our YouTube
You
channel.
haven't had a, what's in that?
Straight 100% pure grain alcohol.
Oh boy.
Doing us for 3 weeks straight.
With weed.
We're not going to say anything, but we want Josh to show Galen a clip right when we sign off of the little scene in Austin.
Yes.
You'll
What?
love it.
You know, we looked through the window, saw a few treats.
It won't make it into the flick,
Yeah.
but you need to see it. It's
Yeah.
funny.
What are you
Sean,
talking about?
If it
You'll
does
see.
make it in the flick, you guys tune in.
So
Wednesday.
this is awesome. Jeff flew in this morning. He actually came here to go to my father's birthday. We're all going to be there.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
So, party, family, good times.
Thank you.
It's
Thanks for
been-
joining
Yeah,
us today.
thank you
It's
for
been
having
a fun
me.
night.
I look forward to
And
hanging out with
We're
you.
going to make sure when he gets on a Harley, he won't drive it, but he'll ride it.
Yeah, I'm going to ride it and maybe wheelie, but maybe not. I don't know.
You got any
Hand drag.
closing statements, Josh?
Yeah.
Closing
Right.
statements. Let's see. Well, check out 2LaneLIVE.com. Read the blogs. Comment on our stuff. Let us know what you like to see, what you don't like seeing. We'll take some of that into consideration. And supporting the store supports our channel. So that's all I got for you today.
Hey, Wednesday, 11 a.m.
PST.
Down that road.
Travels.
See
On
ya.
the road. Deuce.
Deuces.